Hey there guys, I just wanted to make a quick video for you on how to change your perspective and how to actually start thinking like a boss should. Now, before I go into this video, I just want to quickly talk about the reasons why you would want to change your perspective to think like a boss. What are the pros of being your own boss? The obvious ones are, creating your own schedule, choosing who you work with, choosing how much you pay, choosing what you do for work, and all of these equal freedom. That's really what it's all about, is freedom. And with freedom comes responsibility. Now, how do you make sure that you're responsible? How do you make sure that you can handle these freedoms? I say discipline and perseverance. And the ways that you get discipline and perseverance are through staying busy and doing things that you don't want to do. Now, I've noticed for myself, staying busy is everything for me. The more that I do, the more that I want to do, and the more that I want to achieve. If I remember when I was in the busiest time of my season, and I remember thinking about all the stuff that I had to do, the processes and systems that I wanted to set up. And I was like, man, once winter comes, which winter is my down season, once winter comes, I can finally focus on all of these things and tie up all these loose ends. But funny enough, I mean, I did end up doing some of that. But once winter came around, and once I started having more and more free time, I started doing less and less. And then it just kept snowballing. I just kept doing less, 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 less. And so I realized I have to make myself do more things to achieve more. It sounds kind of stupid, but it's true. And whether that be making your bed every morning, going to the gym, make yourself read a book, write in a journal, or even doing things that you don't want to do, like I mentioned, like maybe taking a cold shower or going to the gym could be that as well. Doing those things that you don't want to do and staying busy are what are going to make you disciplined and allow you to achieve once you start working for yourself. Because these freedoms can easily, nobody's going to be there to push you. No one's going to be there to tell you to go to work. You have to tell yourself. So in order to do that, you need to be disciplined. You need to be able to, even on your worst days, make yourself go to work and make yourself get up again and again. Now, like I said, staying busy is a big thing. Another thing that you should do is give yourself a frame of reference. You might have already gone through this, but for myself personally, I worked at UPS, and then that experience there is what made me want to work for myself. The building was short 20 people, so I was doing the job of 2 people, sometimes 3 people. And I thought the more work that I did, I would either get, a pay raise or at least recognized for what I was doing. And that wasn't the case. What ended up happening was the more work that I did, the more work that they gave me. And the managers weren't even, not only did they not recognize me, but they were actually just jerks. So that to me was like, okay, I don't mind working hard. I have no problem working hard, but I want to get paid for that extra work. If I'm doing the job of 3 people, I want to be making the money of 3 people. So that for me was like, all right, I'm going to start my own business and give it a shot, because, even if I fall on my face, it's all on me. And that's what I did. So I went to and I worked for myself, and the first year was good. I was getting paid what I thought I should. I was choosing my own wages, and it was awesome. But then winter came around, and like I mentioned before, that's my down season. I started doing less. It snowballed. I did less and less and less and less and less. Next thing you know, I'm waking up later. I'm really not doing much at all. I'm starting to feel depressed. I have anxiety. And my brother-in-law, who has a scrapyard, asked me to work there. I had no interest at all in working there, but I realized this would be another UPS experience, because if I had waited all winter until summer came around, I was no longer going to be motivated enough to work as hard as I needed to, and I wouldn't be there to kick myself in the butt to get up and go get the work and do the work. So I said yes. I had to get up every morning. I mean, mind you, I was waking up probably like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I had to start waking up at 7 in the morning. I live in the North Country, so the winters are brutally cold. Some days we're in the negatives. One day was like -10. Sometimes there's no heat in that building. I was working with metal, which is extra cold, obviously, and I was just doing things. I had no idea about all the different types of metal. So there was a big learning curve. Waking up early was brutal. And I hate the cold. So just the mix of those things, and I wasn't getting paid as much as I was in the summer. And I knew I was not going to have a good time. So that was like, and my brother-in-law needed help. So I was like, I'm going to do this. And I did it, and it sucked, but I felt so good about myself because I knew I could persevere. And I was fired up for the summer because I knew how much money that I could make in the summer. And if I applied that same work ethic to, my business, I could make so much more money, so much more faster, and I would be enjoying it. I would be enjoying the process. And so I needed that for myself. I needed that frame of reference, and you might be in the same boat too. And, or you might be in a job right now where you're like, you're in that UPS job, or you're in that scrapyard job that I'm describing. But yes, and then, so have responsibility, which means discipline and perseverance. Give yourself a frame of reference, do things you don't want to do, stay busy, and also, lastly, realize that, the grass is not always greener on the other side. If you are looking at starting your own business, realize that there are downfalls. When you work a normal job and you clock out, you're done. When you're working for yourself, you never clock out. It's always ongoing. There's the stress of you might not make any money. There's a lot of risk. So realize that. And once you do jump into it and you are certain you want to do it and time goes on, realize that the grass isn't greener back on the other side. And just realize that you have to make sacrifices. You are going to have very hard times, and understand the concept of delayed gratification versus instant gratification. When you first start out, like I did, you are sometimes, spending money and not getting any money. You might be, advertising or figuring out the processes behind your business. And there's no instant gratification with that. I mean, you might feel pride in that you are creating something, which is awesome. You should, but you're not going to get a paycheck for starting that up. Realize that over time, as you build this over months and sometimes, even years, then you will start actually reaping the rewards of this. And that's really it. I want to keep this video kind of short. If you guys like this video, I have some other tips that you can watch. I also have, I post a video every week following my personal journey to financial freedom. I obviously have my own business, and I just share with you different jobs that I do, just all the things that I am going through personally. Really, for myself, I started this channel just as it's really just like a video journal for myself. Not this part of the channel. This is like tips, obviously, for other people. But if you're interested, the other part is more of a video journal for myself to look back on. But hopefully that can also help people as well. I think it will. And yeah, if you like it, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment if this was helpful or if you also have some advice. And other than that, I will probably, hopefully, maybe see you guys soon. All right.